people will tell people to start investing and to stack that money in investments. But I could say that in 2016 is when I first started investing in stocks. I didn't start trading until 2017. But when I talk about Merrill Lynch shutting my accounts down, I had them for 11 years. I didn't count 2016 because I sold my stocks in 2016 because I couldn't afford to keep the stocks because I had no way of making more money. Therefore, I needed that money. So I wasn't able to hold an asset for 10 years because it was physically impossible for me because I needed that money. And that's how a lot of people work. So if people can't, I would say, well, not if they can't, but I would say patience at the level, if people are starting from the beginning, or even if people are business owners. Like I had a business owner reach out to me yesterday and she said she had lost a business that was $800,000. I said, and that's the mindset of I can relate to all of them of, hey, I shut down a business last year and that was like $1 million business just on courses and stuff like that, right? But it's the factor of one day, no matter if you are already at rock bottom or if you lose in a business, a $50 to $100 account is all you're going to have, or might be what you have to risk because things don't always work out how we want it to in life. So now your asset is not assets in the market. Your best asset going to be patience, because once you understand how the market works, once you understand how they all relate, once you understand that the market only goes up and down, what's the criteria of the up and the down, and am I patient enough to wait? Because now we're looking at the dollar. This is the beginning of the third week before we got like stopped out for the dollar. When you know how we just talked about the impulse candles showing the actual true exhaustion. This impulse candle is so extreme. It's such an
Hmm.
extreme, bold weekly candle, but we're still at a high point. A high point of the dollar is a manipulation because the dollar should be selling. Technically, we did sell it at a low point, but it wasn't a low point at that moment in time because I did my best execution with the information that I have. And that was here on the 4 hour chart. If I still sold this level, this level, this level, and this level before we got blown out. Yeah, the clues were there that it might try to go up of the descending wedges, showing me that the angle is changing. But going back to how these look, this is a descending wedge giving you a reason to go up. This is an ascending wedge giving a reason to go down. But if you're looking at two sides of the market, if you're looking at both, it's going to be hard to look at directly what the market is doing. It's messing up your conviction, messing up people's conviction, looking both ways. At the same time, over the last couple of weeks, the market really didn't do anything because we're still dealing with this is a high, this is a high, this is a high. People are confused with bias because it took out this high, so they're assuming it's making higher highs and higher lows. They're looking at the pixel. They're not looking at the entire picture of this high compared to this high, 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 compared to this high. It's all lower highs. We're just in consolidation, in a downtrend, consolidation, or even in the uptrend. When it comes to consolidation, it's not three different things you're looking at in the market. It's what the industry doesn't know. You're only looking at two things, an uptrend or a downtrend. Consolidation will break in the direction of the main trend. The only thing I'm in charge of and you guys are in charge of is going to be trading in that direction. But you got to have enough conviction on what you've learned that you've done. I mean, that you've learned enough and that you're correct. But knowing that you're correct is only going to come from the result. So it's hard to have that conviction as a beginning trader. But I
Yeah,
understand that because I mean, I used to be a new trader, but then it's like I have a love for learning of I'll even find out different ways to cook chicken, like I just said. And then I make sure that my daughter, hey, homeschool is cool, da da da, fuck the system. But you better like to learn or you're not gonna grow up to be a loser. Like you know what I'm talking about? Because it's like
absolutely.
certain situations I'm gonna need her to be able to uphold herself. Like she's very polite and nice and very witty, and she could tell me she know how to look up stuff. Like she the one told me about the hantavirus. She told me exactly the location it was in. She told me who was affecting. She told me exactly what it was. I didn't hear about it from the news because I don't watch the news. She was watching YouTube and she found out from there. But YouTube is a good way for people to learn. But everyone has their different opinion and biases on different things. And I can understand, say my in-laws, Nana Papa, they're like scared of the internet and predators and shit. I got 6 dogs. Somebody come at this house, me and the dog's gonna jump them. That don't make no sense. But they're because they fear the internet to a certain point. They're thinking the internet is not good for kids. But like I said, dude, with the 300 million trade that I was trading with for that entirety of those months. He was younger than me, but he's using the internet to our advantage. So our parents, when I think about it, is when I was young, I remember dialing into the internet. I remember that thing. Yeah, what was it called? Maybe dial or something like that. I forgot what it was called. But that's when the internet was
LOL.
just not coming out. That was the beginning. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
remember when
AOL,
we
yeah,
used to
yeah,
download from like Kazaa and LimeWire, and we were hoping we like download the movies we wanted, but somehow we'd
yeah.
probably
Yes.
get either the wrong movie or some kind of weird porn.
Yes, bro.
Or someone picked up the
I
phone in the
remember
middle
watching the
of
Fantastic
it would
Four
corrupt.
on you remember when that came out?
When what came out?
The Fantastic Four, that movie, The Silver Surfer. Yes, like it's so easy to access movies and stuff now, but that's technology right there. We'd have to go on these random ass sites to get to the movies, or we'd have to
We
go
had to
to
be
the movie
patient though,
theater.
you know?
Yes, yes, exactly. But then it's like technology is here to make things easier. If my in-laws are comparing their time period before the internet came up to Aubrey's time period, to where the internet is all she's gonna know, to the dude that made 300 million, the internet is all they know. It's like when I think about it, it's way past trading. It's down to say even just fitness. Everyone has different opinions on how they believe fitness is, but we all come to the same conclusion of you need to be in a calorie deficit. But the information was hard to get spread back when my in-laws and my mom was born and my grandma was born because they didn't have the internet. They didn't have that accessibility to the information. Now the information right there. So why would I keep my child like of course how do you say, just shadow her and make sure she's using it correctly, because of course anything can be done wrong and anybody could do anything. But why would I take away a tool that could be used for knowledge for her to learn something faster? I don't believe in the no iPads and stuff like that because I understand how I became to the level I'm in. Like I didn't have access to billionaires. I didn't have any money to pay nobody. I had to come to the internet, figure out how to trade, red naked Forex, trial and error. And then, but the trial and error was a matter of my patience and understanding how the market works. It's a matter of my patience. And then whatever I got success in, I would keep repeating that. You know what I'm talking about? So it's just like
Mhm.
spinning the wheel, but spinning the wheel the best. And then, but people are watching me spin the wheel the best now. So it doesn't make any sense to them. But it's like the dollar. Look, I did that whole breakdown articulation of the dollar, looking at all these asset pairs. So now we move it into GBP USD.